Athens City Shade Tree Commission meeting for February the 11th, 2016. We don't have any outstanding tree permit issues. We do have a Title 37 landscape ordinance issue. If you'd like to come up to the podium and introduce yourself. Particular property is 24 West State Street. It was the First Christian Church, and now the Historical Society are taking it over.
Hi, my name is Trent Bruin, architect at BDT, Architects and Interior Designers here in Athens, Ohio. Commissioned by the Athens County Historical Society and Museum to help them relocate to a new location at 24 West State Street. Previously, occupants were the First Christian Church. And so, after doing a master plan with them, we just came up with a first phase addition on the back side of the property, the back side of the building, which is for an elevator and a new entry to that elevator. And speaking with at that point in time John Paskey, and then subsequently with Ron Lucas, it's my understanding we meet all of the bulk controls, but because the use has changed from a church to a museum, I needed to come speak with you guys. So, if you guys can see this is the proposed site plan. Would you like for me to come closer?
I can see it, but if other people...
It's better.
This
Okay.
is the proposed site plan. Existing building right here. Existing steps out front on West State Street. This is Congress Street. The middle school is about over here. And the parking lot previously went from this curb, which has been knocked down, up to the face of the building. Existing city sidewalk here. There are three existing, I'll show you back here, there are three existing curb cuts. There was one existing curb cut here at the Rose Avenue. There's an existing curb cut here more to the middle of this parking lot, and then one here as well. There's an existing area well here on Congress Street. An existing entry with steps here into the building, existing main entry and steps up into the sanctuary space and then down to the basement here. This side of the building, there's a concrete retaining wall, and this is all sidewalk right here on this side and around the front as well, except in this area here. There is a little bit of grassy area back here. There's an overhead electric line. Comes across here to feed the electrical service. And there's a concrete pad here for condensing units. As far as existing shrubbery, there are shrubs and a tree here along this side on Congress Street. There's a couple shrubs in plantings here to hide the kitchen exhaust as well as the gas meter. And then at the rear of the building, which is on the north is that way, there are some shrubs here as well. And there's a very large tree, about 18 to 20 inch diameter trunk here that's in the right of way. On this side of the property, there's a retaining wall, and after you get to this retaining wall, it drops down probably 2 or 3 feet. And then there's the lawn there. So, to make it a little simpler for you, we have a crazy amount of impermeable surfaces on this site. So the darker area is the concrete existing parking lot, sidewalk, steps, a proposed ramp here. I forgot to mention that earlier. And then this lighter shaded area is existing lawn area, and then this is outside in the right of way. So with that being said, I reviewed the total site here is just under 18, or right around 18,000 square feet. Adding up all the impermeable surfaces, which would be the building, the parking lot, sidewalk, stair, ramp, and stone wall, you're at 16,360 square feet. Which divide that by the 1,527 square feet, that means we need 10.7 large shade trees or 21.4 medium shade trees for this site. If I then go to the permeable surfaces, that would include the The south side of the building, which would be this little bit of grass area here in front of the ramp, would be the west side, this area here, and the north side here. We would have a total of 1,980 square feet for a total of, divide that by the 1,767 square feet, it gives you 1.1 large shade trees or 2.2 medium shade trees. So, according to the Tree Commission code, it looks like we need, for large size trees, we need 11.8 large size trees or 23.6 medium sized trees.
Well, I have a small correction for you. I would make it as 10.1 trees, because when you did your calculation for the impermeable surface, you
Yes.
divided by 1527, but you didn't add in 240 square feet per tree for the area where immediately around where they're being planted, and so
Okay.
that then gobbles up all of your permeable space and a bit more. So
Yes.
in total, it's 10.1.
Okay, fair
So,
enough.
and for a site like this, the easiest way is actually just to take the entire area and divide by the 1767,
Okay.
because it's so integrated in terms of the permeable, impermeable space that it's almost impossible to separate them out. So
Yes.
that's why we take the one number and just divide by that.
Fair enough. Okay.
So we have a problem.
We have a problem. And then the other two items I added down here at the bottom is the buffering landscape, fence or screening between residential and business. The building's in B3.
Yep.
The adjacent property is B3. However, the parking lot's in R3, which is surrounded by R3. And do we have a need for a dumpster?
Not really. It'd be a small one if it would be.
Okay. We don't really show a dumpster on the plan as at this point in time. The other item I noticed in the 37, Article 37 is for commercial, institutional, industrial landscaping. We need an 8-foot wide landscape strip adjacent to the street right of way with large or medium trees 30 feet on center. So basically, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
So I'm here to find out, what can we do?
Well, and this is where I'm going to have to rely a little bit on our interim code director for his help in this regard. We're allowed to give variances. This type of property, right in the middle of the city, is one that often we find it difficult to plant trees with. It just isn't possible to allow the trees to be planted and allow your business or the historical society's business to be operated in the way that it wants to. And so the city council has given us the authority to create variances for this purpose, and what we have is a policy for the relocation of trees that are required by Title 37 elsewhere in the city. And what we have to do is agree by a 2/3 vote, and we usually manage that, that there is no permeable area on the property, right? And I think that is fairly obvious from what we've seen here. There just isn't the permeable space, even if you were able to put the trees in a little bit of permeable space you've got, it isn't going to work. I mean, if you look where his permeable space is, it's right up against the edge of the building. It's a narrow space on one side between the building and the sidewalk. So I think that one is met. We could allow trees to be planted closer together, but I still don't think there's enough room there. So I think we are left in the situation that we're going to have to request that you pay the city a fee for planting the required number of shade trees that you can't plant, and that fee is $250 per tree at the moment. And what happens is the money gets put into a fund which the city then uses to plant trees in public areas elsewhere where we need them. That obviously leaves you then without the maintenance issue with your trees. It leaves it with the city. So we have to be certain that we're doing the right thing, because we're now giving an obligation to the city for maintaining the trees that really should have been on this property. But I think we're recognising that we've got a problem here. So,
Is there a possibility of planting one tree on West State Street? And I don't know what the utility situation is up there, and I'm not necessarily thinking to block the building or get close to the intersection, but closer to the law office. I guess, is that what it is next door?
Yes.
Yeah.
May I approach?
yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Sanitary comes into the building here, gas and water. There is a water line here and a sanitary line, or I guess the water line comes to here. I think the other two utilities are out here in the middle of the street. Overhead electric comes this way, and we believe the storm goes this way, although I can't find anything that...
Yeah.
So I was looking on
So
State Street.
here.
Yes, exactly. That corner of the building. Or even closer to the street as a city right
the
away.
Devil Strip or the
Well,
piece that abuts the building?
I don't think there's a devil strip on West State Street. We'd have to create a tree pit to do it. So that is a possibility.
That was my immediate thought as well, looking at possibilities doing a couple of trees out front and the sidewalk, do some tree pits.
Yeah.
Still have 8 remaining, but
Yeah.
get some good shade there.
Yeah. Yeah, because we really would like some shade if we can get it in an area like this where it is all just paved. And so that will be one thing that I think we would request you do, but if you can satisfy him that you can't do it as the code director, then it just goes back to the requirement that you'll have to purchase 10 trees.
Okay.
But we will leave it up to you and the code director, because there may be utilities there that we don't know about at the moment. That often happens. That they'll think about where they can put a tree pit and discover, no, we can't put one there after all that.
Okay.
Will that pin oak be saved?
Absolutely. This is an existing concrete apron right here. I consider replacing it, but we're not going to. I'm just going to leave it. It's actually heaved up here a little bit from the tree roots, but I'm just going to leave it as is. This is what we were proposing.
It's a substantial tree.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it really is.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Well, we've got before us a plan that's going to require us to approve it with a 2/3, and obviously if we're unanimous, then that'll be it. But we need to be conscious that we are transferring a liability over to the city for the maintenance of these trees, even though they are being bought. So, are there any questions over the policy for the relocation of trees? Does anyone understand what we're doing? We're finding that we really can't put the trees on that property unless there may be a possibility for 2 trees, but it's going to take some effort, I think, on behalf of the architect and the code director to agree on that, or not.
Yeah, I would approve this
Okay.
variance as you're
Okay.
describing it.
Okay. Jeff? Okay.
I would second that.
Okay, good. Okay, right, then we're unanimous. You've got your agreement, and the interim code director will work with you on the details. Okay.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
Well, thank you. Okay. You're next, Ron, with your report, please. And the only thing I've got, I don't know if you're going to include this in your report, but I was asked to include the piece about the Tree City USA Awards in New Lexington, April 20th.
That was in my report. So
Wonderful. We'll get it in twice then, because Anne was really asking us to
Sure,
promote it.
absolutely. And I intend to go. So yeah, just echoing that, Tree City USA Award ceremony is April 20th in New Lexington, Ohio. Probably be an all-day program, 9 to 3. I guess there's a tour of a brick factory, I believe. Something really, really interesting about their community. So, and it will be our 26th consecutive year of being in Tree City, USA. So, AEP, they are doing their annual 3-year cycle tree trimming line clearance efforts, mostly focused on the west side and through some of the Near East, and they get into the Far East as well. But if you would like a list of those streets that they're doing tree clearance, line clearance efforts on, I have it. I can send it out. I'm going to put a press release on the web, so you'll have that information. And it's Brian Benz from Asplund who's done a great job of communicating with residents regarding their trees. Some trees, as we know, are very personal to people, and they don't like when they get butchered. So Brian's the guy. So he does. He knocks on the door. He leaves a hang tag. He does follow up with residents. So he does a good job. Will there be mistakes? Probably, but hopefully we can mitigate a lot of them with Brian and his communication. Any questions on that? I'm going to be working with the parks next Friday. Kevin Skurlock in particular. We're going to go through all of our parks and do some lifting and some removals of dead trees on West State Park. You know, the box elder at Three Rivers needs to come down. Yeah. We probably won't do that. We'll contract that out, but it's a big tree. Yeah. There's some other trees in that area particularly that need some trimming and lifting. Yeah. So we're going to be working on that. Plus it gives me a chance to get up in a bucket truck and do some tree work. Arbor Day, April 29th. I was hoping to do a ceremony on April 29th. I want to do something at Morrison. There is a program, Ann sent this as well, David, a fourth grade foresters program that allocates some trees for schools, and they do some public outreach. So I'd like to look into that and see if that could be a part of the Arbor Day program. Yep. And my fraternity, Theta Chi, is interested in helping out with Arbor Day as well, so we can get a lot of good things going on if we program it. And if anybody's interested in helping me plan the activities, I'd be more than happy to create a subcommittee.
Yeah, if you do, I'd be a part of that.
Okay.
Have you contacted Morrison yet?
No.
Okay.
And that's all I have for this month.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Ron? You asked us to look at a tree. Has anyone had a chance to look at this tree? It was 89 Mill Street, I believe.
I did not.
I've not had.
It's a nice tree.
I've had outreach. I've had contacts with the owner of that building, and the tree will be saved.
Good.
I'm going to remove it. It's too nice of a tree, and there's nothing really wrong with it.
Okay.
Some minor root pruning shouldn't hurt that tree.
Okay. Good. Good.
So if you did look at it, thank you.
I think I know the tree, and it's, I would agree it's a tree worth saving. Okay. I don't have any other items for the Tree Commission other than the approval of our minutes. Has anyone else got anything they want to raise? If not, can you look over the minutes of the last meeting?
I'll approve the minutes.
Thank you, David. Another second.
Second.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any questions or discussion about the minutes? Any objections to approving the minutes? Hearing none, we have minutes of the last meeting. Our next meeting will be March the 10th, 2016. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.